mostly exterior filming, using hundreds of sets designed to represent different parts of the world. What you're about to see out here may appear to be buildings made of brick and stone, but these buildings are really facades or false fronts, and they're made of lightweight materials like foam rubber, fiberglass, chicken wire, styrofoam, and plywood. The facades are generally just the fronts and sides of a building, and they're easily changed from one production to the next. We use these very same sets over and over again. Each time we give them a different look, so hopefully you won't recognize them from one production to the next. Coming into view on my side is our brownstone street. It was named after the brownstone style structures lining the street. This entire area was used for the movie The Sting, which won the Academy Award as Best Picture of the Year in 1973 and starred Robert Redford and Paul Newman. Brownstone Street was also seen in the 20th Century Fox production Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. And now, everyone, hold on to your hats because we're about to blast off for a trip into the future.
Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get out to eat. Road? We don't need roads.
Actually, we are talking back to the future, and if you look up, actually, all the brick has been stripped off of this building. The bricks are actually fiberglass panels that are stapled to the plywood skin that you see over here. The courthouse can be changed to represent any sort of courthouse made, or any sort of structure made out of any sort of material. At any time, it could be brick, stone, or stucco, simply by changing the fiberglass skin. On top of the courthouse, you can see the clock tower where Christopher Lloyd as Doc Brown harnessed the bolt of lightning that propelled Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly. Greens department over here on the driver's side. Here in the Greens department, we have over 7,500 plants. They range in size from just over 2. Our artists have created all sorts of outdoor settings with plants, anything from a simple backyard garden like the one used in the movie Leave It to Beaver, to the deep and dark jungles of Jurassic Park. We've also created forests for the movie E.T., the extraterrestrial. Those forests were actually inside one of our sound stages, and they were created using potted plants and ferns, similar to these on the driver's side. But here at Universal, not everything is as it appears. You see these tree trunks and portions of trees. They're not real, folks. They're made out of sculpted foam and fiberglass and were created for the movie The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Even the moss growing on these trees is simulated. You see, sometimes plants that are used on a set are imaginary, and we have to create them using sculpted foam, fiberglass, and plastic. And coming up is one of the vehicles from the film that was used for hunting dinosaurs. This is what we call a picture car, and a picture car is actually any vehicle that's used in front of the cameras. That's pretty good, guys. Can you show us something else?
Let's add in a little rain.
Here at Universal Studios, we're located in Southern California, where we rarely get rain. So we have to create rain for our sets by placing sprinklers above the set itself, pointing the nozzles upward, and that way the rain falls down naturally.
Freddie, is that too much rain? I don't know if the system can handle it.
Okay, folks, it sounds like they're getting more water out here than they anticipated. These sets are really soaked from all the weather that they've been simulating out here. We might get some runoff, and if you're seated by the gates over here on the driver's side, you might want to lean in just a little bit, pick up, and uh-oh, look at this. Aim those cameras up the hill, folks. Not only are we getting runoff, we're getting a flash flood over here. Actually, the flash flood is created by releasing thousands of gallons of recycled water from tanks up in the hill. That was the same effect used in the movie The River, starring Mel Gibson and Sissy Spacek. To drive through the center of Little Europe on a cobblestone street that you may recognize from the opening segment of the Castle Rock production, City Slickers, starring Billy Crystal. This is where we staged the running of the bulls. And if you look closely at the cobblestones as we go up the street, you'll notice they're really just pressed cement. It's another special effect at Universal. Our Little Europe served as Paris, France for the television series Beverly Hills 90210. It was recently used by the Walt Disney Studios for an upcoming made-for-television movie set to include the telephones, the ticket vending machines, and also the newspaper vending machines that you can see out there. For those of you in the last couple of cars, off to the driver's side, you can see a camera. It's mounted on... Whoa! Sorry about that, folks. That's really nothing to worry about. We do get tremors here frequently. Uh-oh. Okay, everybody, the is not a tremor. Please stay calm. Remain seated and keep your arms and legs inside the tram. Again, folks, please remain calm. Stay seated. Keep your arms and legs inside the tram. And that night, it had 12 vacancies. It was run by a very odd man named Norman Bates, played by Anthony Perkins. The film was Alfred Hitchcock's classic thriller, Psycho. And if you take a look up on the hill off to my side, folks, you'll see one of the most famous sets on Universal's property, the world-famous Psycho house. As we round the corner, everybody have your cameras ready. You'll be able to get a great shot of the Bates Motel and the Psycho moment. If the Bates Motel looks a little bit different to you than you recall from the film, it did receive a facelift for the full-color, updated version of Psycho, directed by Gus Van Sant. Off to the side of the Bates Motel is a car. This car is the very same vehicle that Janet Leigh as Marion Crane was driving in the 1960 classic Psycho. That's the one that she was driving when she checked into cabin number 1 here at the Bates Motel. As we climb the hill, coming up on the driver's side, you'll see the new Bates Mansion from the updated version of Psycho, directed by Gus Van Sant, starring Vince Vaughn, Anne Heche, and Julianne Moore. The new Psycho house is a facade. It has only 3 sides and it's covered with a fiberglass skin, and it was created full scale. As we approach the original Psycho house, you'll be able to see that it's a little bit smaller than a regular house. The original house was created on a 3/4 scale to give it the illusion of being set back further from the Bates Motel, and it gave Anthony Perkins the appearance of being taller and more ominous when he stood on the porch. The original Psycho house is what we call a shell set. That means it has 4 walls and a roof and absolutely no interior. The interior for both of these houses will have to be created inside a sound stage.